So I've been having a lot of fun creating AI-generated video, specifically using Sora 2, which is OpenAI's new video generation model. And I have an extra invite code, so in the next 5 to 6 days, comment below if you want one, and I will pick one lucky person in the comments to give you one. Today what I'm going to walk you through is how I've been using Sora 2 to create fun videos and business videos to help, one, unleash my creativity in ways I've never been able to before. The ideas that you might have in your head, you can now get onto screen, and my best practices on how I'm creating these videos. So first, for those of you who don't know, Sora, again, Sora.chatgpt.com is how you log into Sora. I lucked out in getting access. If you look at the accounts, there are the Plus and the Pro accounts. Those are the only ones that are getting early access now. You'll see that they have access to Sora 1 based on the account that you have. Now, I was a heavy Sora 1 user in my Plus account, which is why I believe I got early access to Sora 2 and got my invites. So I'm using the $20 a month account, and I'm able to generate up to 30 10-second videos per day, or 15 15-second videos per 24-hour window. And it counts from when you take that video, and then 24 hours later, it expires. So how do we create a video? Now, the application is much like a social media app where you'd expect. You come in and you can actually see other people's AI-generated video. So what have we been doing here? You can just describe your video. There's a couple of cameos that are in here, and a cameo is someone giving permission to upload their own likeness into this tool to generate a video. We have Mark Cuban, Jake Paul, Sam Altman is in here as well, and people are generating some very interesting videos of these folks, which are kind of questionable, but people who have gotten their likeness up here have done that because they want to get their personalities out there. I will not be uploading my likeness. I recommend you do not, even though you have controls over who does and doesn't have access to those. Controls don't seem to mean much in technology, in my opinion, anymore. So you can describe your video. Before you make any changes, you have a couple of choices. You can do portrait or landscape, and you can change your duration from 15 to 10 seconds. Now, those of you that have the Pro account, you can actually upscale the quality, so you can improve the quality. Right now, these videos are being generated in my Plus account at what would be considered standard definition. So what kind of videos am I creating? Well, one, I'm experimenting with a whole slew of things here because I don't exactly know how to best use these tools. I can create almost videos of anything. You can see I've created a handful of videos down here of my pets doing some crazy things like being crane operators or flying spaceships. Things that I'm hoping would be considered funny and goofy for people to engage with. Now, the good news is people are engaging with them. For the past 30 days, I've been working with a strategy of trying to post every day. So when I have been posting every day, I've often been posting these videos where I do a 3-putt challenge. And depending on whether I get all those putts in, I will have a good or a bad day, or that's the fortune for the day. Since using these AI videos, I've started posting a lot more content, and we've started noticing that some of these, because of the goofiness and hilarity of these short clips, are getting a lot of engagement from folks, and people are actually liking and enjoying them. Very few comments are negative on these. But now, of course, I am purposely trying to create comedic, entertaining videos. Not trying to really confuse or manipulate people or lie to folks in these things, although some people would say that all AI-generated video is lying. But additionally, there's ways that you can use this to let your creative ideas come out. So, for example, which is pretty easy to figure out, I work for a company called Markup AI, and they specialize in creating brand alignment tools through AI technology. So companies will use us to make sure that their human and generated content meets brand standards, terminology, and the likeness. Now, I've had these insane ideas of great ads that I would have loved to run for these folks, but I'm barred by resourcing and budget and the ability to see if that idea would truly execute. But now, if I wanted to, let's say I wanted to make a funny video of...
How do I spell the word independence?
This, for example.
How do I spell the word independence?
Use Markup AI!
But that won't be invented for another 250 years.
So this gives me the opportunity to come through and create these silly ideas where these could be good, funny ads for the videos I'm generating. And you'll see here with the prompt, create a video of our founding fathers of the United States signing the Declaration of Independence, but everyone is looking around confused. The person signing the document turns around and says, how do I spell the word independence? There's an awkward pause. You see that these prompts, you have to really, and I can't even scroll in here, there we go. You have to really start detailing some of these out. Now, this is a short prompt for me here. Some of my prompts, which I'm going to take a quick pause here, to show you an example of a more detailed prompt that I had written for another type of video I'm using to also advertise the same idea. So when I'm trying to create these entertaining sort of advertising clips, the thing is, again, we don't want to manipulate and kind of create these fake emotional scenes. People will be bothered by that if they're not already bothered by AI-generated video. But we do have the opportunity to create what I would consider some entertainment, some hilarity. So I created a script that said, we're going to call this is the Western Getaway. So the idea is that we have two cowboys running from the cops, and they turn around and say, what are we going to do? They're closing in on us. And one of the cowboys says, what if we use markup AI? Then the other cowboy turns and says, no, you idiot. That's good for brand style and terminology. That won't help us here. And then they realize that that was a stupid idea. Now that is in hilarity of bringing us into this scene where someone is suggesting to use our tool in a completely unorthodox way that it wouldn't help, but it brings out the brand name, it brings out the value quickly and the benefits, and it's entertaining because you're watching these two people run away on a horse. So here's an example of what that script had generated for me here.
They're gaining! How are we gonna shake these coppers?
I got it! What if we use markup AI?
What are you, an idiot? That's only great for checking content for tone, terminology, and clarity!
Oh, that's not gonna help us here!
A lot of fun creating these types of videos, but you'll notice, if you didn't catch it, there's a lot of issues when it comes into having dialogue match up accordingly. If you saw here, this cowboy who was giving the benefits of the company ended up also being this cowboy finishing that line instead of having it be that first cowboy. And then he quickly goes back to his actual line. So even though the videos are looking great, it's exceptionally difficult, even through hundreds of different prompts that I've tried against, to get the right dialogues from the right people. But now, when I look at ideas that I can share internally, this is funny. This is a great example of how we could use AI-generated video to now do things that I never could have done in the past because I just didn't have the resources. But now let's look at the other side of this, which is what happens when we have these types of videos constantly being generated. We're already seeing that through most social media platforms where people are seeing what's considered AI slop, which is the careless dumping of AI-generated content. Now, some people will say that all AI-generated content is slop. I disagree. There is a lot of laziness that is being expanded on, or I guess is exponentially growing. If you are generally a lazy person, you're going to take lazy approaches in scaling your AI stuff, which is going to come through in poor quality. But if you are taking the time to be articulate and purposeful and making sure that you're getting the outcomes you are looking for, this is one of the best ways you can scale your own services and your skills to better yourself and better the organizations that you work for. Like, for example, I would never have gotten permission to film anything like this in my life because we just wouldn't find the value in getting that budget together. But being able to now take those opportunities by having these ideas come out in an easy way to show and share, one, is now good enough to almost post and share on its own. As opposed to the old ways we used to do it is, let me go ahead and write down my ideas, get it into a storyboard, pay to have that converted into imagery somehow, and then also bring that into hiring a crew, hiring actors and actresses, getting production schedules ready. This really opens up the opportunity for things that were completely out of reach and not available to a lot of smaller businesses or even individuals who have these creative ideas but just don't have the means to produce them. So this is how I'm generating things. What I will share too is I've actually created a custom Gemini gem. So I'm using Gemini gems as well. I created, which is a custom GPT, to take ideas that I just spew out verbally or jot down quickly and write them into these scripts that are about 70 to 80% there. And then as I guess and check and test against these, I will go in and manipulate and adjust these scripts as needed to see if I can force conversations to happen. And one of the best things I've learned here is when you want scene changes and when you want dialogue changes, put those on separate lines. Do not jumble them together in similar paragraphs. And additionally, avoid having complex dialogue. You as the writer have to figure out how to write simply enough for these tools to understand and generate. They're just not there yet. But if we look at the videos of Will Smith eating spaghetti 2 years ago, they've come a long way, and I can only imagine what they're going to look like in 2026. So that's what I wanted to share, how I'm using these. These are great ways to get our ideas and experiences out and how to generate more content. I'd love to know your opinion. Do you love the idea of AI-generated content? Do you hate it? Are you down the middle? Are you completely against it? And do you want a code? If you do, again, comment below, and in about 5 days, I will pick a lucky winner to give one of my codes to. So thank you so much. Take care.